Gosh, I've been sitting here thinking of intro and what to say for like several minutes, but I'm just gonna go out and just get down and dirty with it. So, my friend was getting bored of RuneScape, and one day he hits me up on Discord. And he's like, "Yo, bro, we should try Bronze Man." And I'm like, "What's Bronze Man?" So I checked it out a little bit, and I barely done any endgame content. Like I have like 500 Warcraft kills and one Chamber of Xeric. So I was like, "Huh, okay, let's do this." But if we're gonna do this, we gotta have certain rules and milestones, and he agreed. And so the rules and milestones that we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna get to them in just 1 second. Okay, so now that we're looking at the rules, I felt like, well, we felt like we should be able to use quest items since that's not too broken in our opinions. Because I felt like stuff like the partisan and stuff like that aren't too broken to not use because anyone can unlock them. It's just locked behind quest. I also felt like we should be able to use certain untradables since we wouldn't want to do the whole grind again, like the Dragon Defender, but we didn't keep every untradable that was like broken, like Fire Capes or Avas, because that ties into the other rule. Uh, well, we kept them, but we can't use them until we do Fight Caves or Vorkath, and we only need like a kill of Vorkath to unlock it because I'm not gonna kill him 50 times to get it, and we only have to do Fight Caves once because duh, you get it after that. And we only need a Black Mass to be able to use our Slayer Helms, I felt. And if one of us unlocks the item, the other one could just buy it since we're in different time zones and can't always trade slash play together. But if we are online at the same time, we'll just trade and the other person will unlock it. And after that, the rules are done. The area restrictions slash money gateways slash milestones, if you want to call it that, we came up with these because we're basically main accounts but playing like ironmen and can use a GE. So we felt like we should drop or turn into platinum tokens some gold in order to use items or go to certain areas and do certain bosses. So we felt 5 million for cannon was pretty fair. 10 mil to enter God War dungeons was fair. 25 mil to get to demonics to start grinding for Zenite jewelry was fair. And 50 million to enter Prifdinus since it was overloaded with a bunch of stuff. And I was like, we can't just go there at the start because that would be too broken. And so that's the rules and the milestones that we have so far. This video is in a live commentary. I might do a mix for the next video, upcoming videos. I'm still trying to just figure things out. So we sold our banks off for the most part and just turned everything to platinum tokens. I probably won't ever use them. I might drop them in the future. I don't know. I'll get to that later on. So this isn't a fresh account. This is my main account. I haven't maxed it or anything, but I play a decent amount on it. So I was sitting here and thinking of what to do. So then I just grabbed my rogue armor and headed to RD because I was thinking I should just pickpocket some RD knights for starting GP and think from there, or think while I was doing it, because we had recorded or started recording this before I even was able to do my intro clips or anything. So I was, and we're still making the rules at this time. So it's just a lot going on in our heads at the moment. And so after making the run all the way to RD, I just started pickpocketing with no food and with a dream. The dream of making some nice story GP, so I could get some gear and start killing some Slayer monsters I had unlocked. And so when I was done with RD Knights, I just went and teleported to Lumbridge since it's a free teleport, and I didn't want to wait for anything else. So when I arrived, I headed down to a recipe for the Sasser Bank area, and I put my gear away so I could take out my graceful armor. Because my plan after this was, well, I already stated before, was to head down to Varrock so I could go and get better gear or get stuff so I could start doing some Slayer tasks well, not tasks, but kill some monsters. Because for a task, I felt like I needed better equipment for later on. So as I was looking through my bank, I saw a few untradables that I thought wouldn't be fair to just keep because I could just unlock them or buy them later. So I dropped my barrels gloves. I saw the crystal bow, so I dropped that as well, and I dropped a few others. So after running down to the GE after everything was said and done, I got some house teleport tabs because I felt like the house was fair game because I didn't want to run everywhere. I think I got a bit too many here, but it was fine. I was just gonna regret it a different day. And this was back when I was thinking of what Slayer monster I wanted to kill off task. So I looked and I saw Dust Devils, and I thought they would have been pretty easy. So after taking the rest of my cash, like I went over to the armor shop in Varrock because I was thinking of where I could get some armor early on pretty cheaply because I'll just get better armor after. So I got a mithril plate body and some iron plate legs, and after that I was gonna head over to GE and buy food. But at this point, I forgot that I had to unlock the food before I could actually buy it. So after that, I just went to go get the rest of my gear and get some food. I stopped over by Steve to just go and pick up a face mask because I needed one to kill dust devils. I also realized that I didn't have any boots, so after I got the face mask, I looked at the boots, and so I went for the boots of stone because I was pretty sure that they gave some defensive stats, if anything at all. So I thought something was better than nothing. And after that, since there's a bank so close, just behind in the big giant tree, I just went and started gearing up before I went to go get my food. So the armor I was gonna bring was just an RD cape because it gives you some stats. The mithril plate body and plate legs. I had on the graceful gloves, but I think I might have swapped them out for the rogue gloves because they give you some defensive stats, but I didn't here. But I did that later on. So after that, I headed over to go and get the food, and I was thinking where I could get food from, and I remember that the Warriors Guild has some potatoes. I thought it was tuna potato with butter or whatever, but no, they only had cheese potatoes, which are still pretty good. And so after that, I put away the cash stack and I just took out the herb sack since they drop herbs. I took the rune pouch because they dropped some runes I might have kept, and they also dropped some gems which I could either keep for jewelry or sell for some early GP. I also ran down to Lily because I thought she might sell some combat potions or whatever, but no, she just sells regular attack, defense, and strength. So I didn't want any of that, so I just went out and just went back to my house and just took my portal all the way down to Kourend. And so when I got there, I just started killing some Dust Devils, and I forgot that they had like a magical melee attack style. So me bringing this gear actually wasn't really gonna really help me because they're still gonna just hit through it pretty hard. So I just used my prayer as much as I could until I ran out, and then that's when I switched over to using my food. Is also an example of why I said we should be able to use the partisan loader because I mean it's not the best weapon out there, so the kills are still pretty slow, but they're pretty decent, better than some other things or like some other alternatives. Like if I were to get a battle staff and start going for a rune scimitar, so I was still content with it. Because my health was so low and I didn't have a lot of prayer left, I just went back to my house and just ended the trip there. And I think this trip was pretty decent enough that I could just go and get some starter gear. And so that's exactly what I went to go do when I went straight back to the GE. And when I went to the GE, I went to go empty everything out before I went to go sell everything. And as I emptied out my herb patch, I found out that I actually did get a rain arm when I was killing the dust devils. After selling everything off, I went to Zast's staff shop so I could get me a fire staff because the fire runes I was gonna get were pretty expensive. And I went to go see if I could actually do the daily for my staffs, but I'm too broke right now, so I can't even afford that. So I just grabbed this and I headed over to Falador so it'll get some proselyte gear. If you're wondering why my run energy is so low in this clip, before I even got to go buy my proselyte armor or whatever, is because I didn't know how to go through a whole entire dialogue with him to even get to buying the proselyte armor. I thought that the White Knights were selling in the castle, so I ran in there. Then I looked up on the wiki that he sells it, so I ran back and I saw the whole entire dialogue for it. So then after that, I just got my proselyte gear so I could start doing other things. And with the full set of armor in places that I didn't have to take it off at, I had a whopping 23 prayer because of the RD cape as well. So it was looking pretty good. And so after I got my proselyte armor, I found out that I really didn't have as much gold as I wanted to actually buy some of the items and gear I wanted to even start with a bunch of other things. So I just grabbed my full rogue outfit and I headed straight back to RD so I could go pickpocket for a little bit more and probably get enough gold to be where I'm like comfortable at. And after getting to an amount that I was happy with, I just went back to my house and then I remembered that my house was in Relica. This was important because I remembered I had unlocked potions. So I went all the way to Waterbirth Island because I remembered from a video I watched a while ago, or well, I think most people know, but there's snake grass there. And I had the Renar herbs from earlier. So I just went to go grab some snake grass so I could just unlock some prayer potions because it was going to help for almost every single thing that I will ever do, and actually it will help for everything I will do in the future. And this was gonna be a good unlock for me and my friend. So I went there and grabbed a few because I saw it was going for 463 or whatever, and I was broke. So I was just gonna grab enough to make one potion and then sell the rest off. After selling the snake grass, I then grabbed my full entire cash stack and got the Renar weed, and with that I made the prayer potions so I could buy prayer potions and have them just permanently so I could buy them at any time. And so after I went to GE and got some prayer potions, I got a mirror shield because I forgot I had the shield of V and that also works. So I went to go kill cockatrice because I figured out that they had nature rune drops and I wanted nature runes so I could go do some gargoyles. While I was out killing the cockatrice, I actually got a event, the Quizmaster. And so when I got the reward, I picked the cash because I'm not gonna try my luck with the mystery box. Never lucky. Also, during the first trip, this cockatrice right here actually dropped some mystic boots, but I didn't even notice that it had dropped it at first because I went AFK for a little bit. But when I got back, I was screaming. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is big!" And then I picked it up, man. I was real happy. After killing some cockatrice, I actually got a medium clue scroll, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this might be a chance to actually get some ranger boots." And I found that I could do this first step, so I went to go and do it. And now you guys could come and laugh at me because I was being an idiot. I looked at the clue and I was looking at the items and I thought I wouldn't be able to get any of the items. But after I dropped it, I realized I could have got the maple longbow because my fleshing is high enough. I could have crafted the green d'hide chaps and I could have got the iron med helm. So potential ranger boots is just down the drain. After filling the clues up, I asked my friend what he was doing, and he told me he was at Gargoyles because he had actually unlocked nature runes. And so he traded me over 100, so I got them, and then I went over to Gargoyles, go join him so I could get some early GP so we could actually start getting the ball rolling. Now, I could have kept the helmet in my inventory and just swapped off the nose peg after I ran past the Aberrants, but I wasn't really thinking that far, and neither was my friend because he didn't do the same thing either. And contrary to belief, the partisan actually isn't that bad when it comes to crush damage. So it was better than using a scimitar or anything else I could have found. Because even the dragon scimitar was pretty low, and I couldn't even afford it at the time. So that was the main reason why I was here. So one of us could buy the dragon scimitar so we could have it unlocked for doing Slayer task and other things. And after doing gargoyles, I actually got another event. I got the strange fruit. While it wasn't that big, it can be used to cure poison, I believe. So it was kind of decent and kind of funny to actually have gotten it because that was actually kind of the best thing that we could have got at this time until we got better. And literally the next kill after I just got the strange fruit, I actually got death rune. So we actually had the death runes unlocked so we could actually use it for spells and for future things like a trident. So it was pretty nice. And after my first gargoyle task, I went back to the GE and we actually made some pretty good GP because I actually made 200k And after getting this 200k, I was thinking of using my Ivan staff that I had so I could go kill cave krakens. The best setup I could think of for cave krakens at the moment was ghostly robes with my Major Arena 2 cape, Book of Darkness, and Salve EI for prayer because it doesn't offer anything else at cave krakens other than prayer. So I was feeling good, and I even had my spore ring just to have it on. I guess I don't know why I had it on. And after grabbing what I thought would be useful for the task, since the cave krakens, not the boss, only hit you with magical attacks, you can actually pray against magic and you just won't take any damage. But I figured out that my Ivan staff needed to get charged, so I went to go over to the Dark Mage so I could just recharge it. I know Dark Mages are supposed to be evil and everything, but like, bro, 250k recharge a staff that you just have to run down a little hole just to recharge? Nah, that is ridiculous. He's trying to daylight rob me, so I went to go do it myself. And as I was going through here, I remembered you have to have a bow so you can shoot the thing down. I didn't have it, so I had to figure out another way. I took my crystal seed and I headed down to Prifddinas just so I could charge it up so I could go Ledia so I could then go into the cave from the back. But I don't know if this really counts as cheating because we did have that we can only come here when we get a certain threshold, but I'm pretty sure that the way that we were thinking about it is that we can't do anything like Volcano Gauntlet or anything like that until we get it. I don't think just going there is unfair, because it's not like I'm doing anything like agility training or anything. I just had to talk to her. I don't know. You guys have tell me if you think this was cheating or not, but I think it was fine given the circumstances. But I don't agree with me using the Ivan stuff. I should have just threw it away and just had it earn the enchanted one or the U. I forgot what it was called all over again. So after getting the thing, I ran all the way back to the cave so I could recharge this. And when I went to the cave, oh man, I was confused because I thought it was the well that was right in front of me, and I didn't know it was a well at a different part. So I was running all over the place, looking up on the wiki where it was, and running back and forth all over the place just to try and find a way to charge this godforsaken staff so I could try and do some cave krakens. I eventually found the door I had to go to after using all my run energy because I saw a guy running, so I just kind of followed him. I don't know if he came here specifically or whatever, but yeah, I used my iron staff here, and then after that, I was just checking out stuff because I forgot about whatever this stuff said, and I was just curious. So I then checked, saw I had a bunch of charges, and I was ready to go and do some cave krakens. And after spending all that time getting the Ibis staff, basically breaking a rule to get here and everything like that, I literally went to try and kill him and found out that you could only kill him on task, and I accidentally prayed the rigor before I even got to Cox. So it's like I basically cheated so many times here by accident, by the way, so that one doesn't count. But I broke a rule just to get here to try and get a trident so I could do barrels and other content, and it was all for nothing, literally nothing. And if you remember what I was talking about before when I was talking about getting the Dragon Scimitar, my friend actually had more money than me. So he actually went to go get one. And so after he got it, we unlocked it. So I just went to the bank and I unlocked it myself. And I just got it. So I could just use it for the future. And so taking my Shattered pride that I've broken, because I broke some rules. I broke two rules by accident, but it doesn't really count, at least for one of them. I went to go get a leaf blade spear because I went to go get the leaf blade weapons because I want a decent stab and a decent crush weapon, and the leaf blade axe is gonna be a pretty decent crush weapon for the moment. And because I threw away my barrels gloves, I was trying to see if I could buy them back, but I did not have the money for it, and I was looking at dragon gloves to see if I could get those, and I couldn't. So I just sell it with rune gloves since that was what I could afford at the time. I head back over to the GE to get some more potatoes with cheese because I was way too lazy to go get some carrot bombs, which probably would have been way better because I only had to catch one. I don't know why I was so lazy, but I didn't. So I just got some potatoes because I remembered that Kuras don't really hit you that accurate and they don't really hit you that much, but when they do, it kind of hurts. And while I was halfway through the cave, I realized that I didn't have my herb bag, and I didn't have my rune pouch or the gem bag, so I was literally gonna waste time because I would have to like be selective at what I had to bring with me. And I looked at the price of house tabs because I was trying to make sure I was gonna make myself broke and tear out my hair because I was disappointed that I just wasted that. And so after doing all that, I came back to go kill some Kuras so I could get the leaf bladed weapons. And this time I actually brought everything I actually needed to. I was actually also going for all the herbs because I want to unlock all the herbs so I could buy them in the future if I ever need to. Probably wouldn't because I'll just buy potions for the most part. So I want to make one of each potion that I could so that I could unlock them for later for both of us because there's some potions that I could unlock ASAP, like the anti-venom for Zora, which I felt like I need to find a way to get around to and stuff like that. And for the super combat, I didn't have the high enough herb lore, so I was trying to figure out ways I could do it while I was here at the same time. So I had plenty of time to think here while I was trying to go for that drop. And after coming back with my full entire inventory empty of all those potatoes, I emptied out my herb sack and I unlocked a bunch of herbs to use for a bunch of potions for the future. And this is probably going to become even bigger tab at one point because I'm probably not going to sell all of these off. I already think I did kind of when this happened, but I'm going to save the rest of them so I could just document all the herbs I got while I'm on the way to get my battle axe. I could get lucky and get it early, but I don't know. We'll see. But while I was never lucky pretty much this whole entire video, my friend got lucky. He got a cave cracking task, and then that led into him getting some anti-poisons that we could use for later when we actually need it for stuff. And we also got a Trident of the Seas. That is a big unlock because now we can do barrels pretty easily and it unlocks a lot of other stuff that we could do as well that I'll talk to when we get there because we can even do DKs now. So it was pretty interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. Next video, we're going to get a bunch of big unlocks, hopefully, and we're going to try and get to bossing as soon as possible. So yeah, see ya. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you liked it, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And probably tell me how I can make it better. Yeah.